Welcome to another What's New from the Barbados Light and Power Company Limited. I am Sandra Reid, Communications Coordinator. For the next few minutes, I'll be sharing with you what's new at our company. Light and Power is once again involved in the Cropover Festival. This year, in a different but very valuable way. For this four-day morning event, Light and Power, in partnership with the NCF and Roberts Manufacturing Company, will be providing improved temporary lighting along the route to create a safe environment for the revellers, the workers and the spectators. Cropover is a very important festival for our country's economy, and we are happy for the opportunity to partner in this event and to join other sponsors in making Cropover this year even better. To share even more about the event and our sponsorship this year, here's Brian Rees, Environmental Health and Safety Officer, talking with the producer of the event, George Nicholson.
Can you tell me how many years the four-day morning concept has been a part of the Cropover Festival?
The four-day morning jam started in 1995. A small group of friends got together and decided to introduce the four-day morning Juve type concept into the event. It rapidly grew. Not massively. By 2000 they had about 12 to 15 bands participating, and now we're up to 37 bands that are going to be on the road for four-day morning this year.
What's the history of the whole four-day morning and Juve concept?
Well, we West Indians seem to like being in costume and hiding our true colors.
Yeah.
What the four-day morning concept allows you to do is to participate on the cover of night and sort of release those inhibitions. Many of the bands will be featuring mud, cocoa, paint, powder. Some bands are less traditional. They are looking at the t-shirts only, and we've had some introduction of sort of a more costumey element this year, where people are taking the shorts and shirts and turning them into sort of swimsuit type garb, which, you know, some people are a bit concerned about. It's not a Kadooment costume,
Yeah.
but it's not your strict Juve costume. And I think in Barbados we have a unique event because it's a parade as opposed to a free-for-all, and I think the spectators want to see something different.
Okay.
So a little bit of color and a little bit of flavor that is uniquely Barbadian can't hurt.
Okay. Specifically, what are some of the safety challenges that you've had to deal with in the last few years?
Well, obviously the dark areas makes it easier for those who have bad intentions to carry those intentions out. We want to make sure that the revelers and the spectators are in a safe environment and can enjoy themselves without worrying about what's coming around the next dark corner.
How do you suppose the additional lighting towers will enhance and add to the aspects of the four-day morning festival?
We'll be using quite a few of them here in the assembly points, where we'll have 6,000 to 7,000 people assembling for a few hours. They will have a stage here with a DJ and steel band. There will be a bar from the sponsors, Banks and Stag. Stag is sponsoring the bar in the helipad where we are, and Banks is sponsoring the bar and the actual zone out at the BTI car park.
What are some of the other strategic locations that the lighting towers will be positioned within to assist with the security aspects of the festival?
Well, we are providing toilet facilities along the route. Those facilities will be lit, not just for the revelers but for the spectators. And we will be doing a walkthrough of the entire route on Thursday night to verify exactly where we need those lights. The police have already done that, so they have their list of where they want additional lights. So the additional lighting towers are going to immensely improve the security, the ability of the security forces to provide that security to the participants.
Okay. And besides the dark areas, are there any other security concerns that you'll be managing during the festival or during the four-day morning event?
Yes, the party zones that I mentioned, they will be within a secure zone, which will stretch from the Bay Street junction with Probyn Street all the way down to the Hink Street junction with Cumberland Road, which is at the corner of the BTI multi-story car park. There will be no access to that zone unless you have an authorization wristband, which will be issued by the NCF.
Do you think that the improved lighting towers or the additional lighting towers will attract more spectators and revelers to the event in future years?
This will allow the spectators to come out and view the procession safely, and give the band members a feeling of comfort that you know, they can see what's going on around them and they can react, as well as the police to be able to see what's happening before it turns into something that gets out of control.
Still talking safety, we have been taking measures to build and enhance safety partnerships. Recently, in an educational seminar titled Electrical Safety for First Responders, we shared with a group of representatives from the Royal Barbados Police Force, the Barbados Fire Service, the QEH Ambulance Service, and the Roving Response Team, among others. This followed a similar session with representatives from the Barbados Fire Service a few months earlier. In many cases, first responders have to consider electricity as a hazard when they arrive at the scene of an incident. With the hurricane season already upon us, they need to be more aware of what actions to take and how to protect themselves against this eventuality.
The larger one is the one that we usually use for our transmission lines, 24,000 volts. The other two is usually our 11 kV line, or this insulated, this bare one can also be used for 24,000 as well. So sometimes the size of the wire you can be mistaken if you're not aware of it. For example, either one of these could carry 11,000 volts as well, despite the size of them. So you can be mistaken based on the size of the conductor. Either one of these can carry 11,000 volts. Because you see wires on the ground doesn't mean that they're safe to go near. When you arrive, ensure that you keep yourself safe as well as all the onlookers that will congregate.
We got various systems to protect you. Overcurrent relay means that on a circuit we will let a certain current flow. If it goes too high above that value, it will shut down. So typically, if a pole comes down and it touches the ground, more current than we've allowed will flow, and it should shut your line down or blow your fuse. Right? Airfall is designed to trip if you have too much current going to ground. This one typically could be face to face, this could be face to ground. Differential is usually on transformers. It measures the power going in and the power coming out. If there's a difference that is too high, we know something happening in the transformer, so shut the transformer down. Distance and unit are what we put usually on transmission lines.
And finally, the latest news is about our new electric car, recently added to our fleet of vehicles. Relatively new to Barbados, the electric car is the new wave of transportation across the world, transitioning from fossil fuel to electrically powered vehicles. The company is seeking to stay abreast of technology and to find more creative ways to diversify the energy mix for Barbados. The electric vehicle, EV, is one way of providing an option for the transport sector, which will result in lower energy cost and a reduction in carbon emissions. It also supports both the company's and government's greening objectives. The EV was purchased as a part of a pilot program and will be evaluated over a period of time to gauge its potential as a viable alternative to gasoline and diesel-powered vehicles in Barbados. In our next program, we'll share more on our new electric car. Here's a reminder that you can register for e-billing and receive your electricity bill online. Over 1,200 of our customers have now selected this option, and others are registering weekly to save time. Please contact a customer service representative today at 626-4300. I am Sandra Reid, Communications Coordinator, and it was my pleasure to share what's new at Light and Power.